Today we're going to answer the question, can you move to a country alone where you don't speak the language? Oh hey, I'm on the same beach that I was on Sunday, and it is unrecognizable. What a difference between a sunny Sunday and a cloudy Tuesday. I couldn't even see the sand on Sunday through all the tables and blankets and umbrellas and people. I didn't even know what the beach looked like. There were so many people on it. I didn't know if the surf was any good because it was kind of windy and on shore and hard to tell. I didn't realize how big it is. If you look down the beach here, I looked on Google or Wikipedia, this stretches out to the end there for 15 miles. So last Sunday, if you were in the area behind me, it was just completely mobbed with people. The craziest Brazilian beach scene you've ever seen. It's only about a 2 foot, maybe 3 foot swell. Not much wave action. But look at this gigantic bay. I mean, who's to say if you walked all the way down to the corner there that the angle doesn't hit better and it doesn't get much bigger. I haven't bought a surfboard yet. And the reason I haven't bought a surfboard is because there's been a big upwelling. The wind has been offshore too hard for too many days, and the water's ice cold. The water this time of year in Florianópolis, Brazil, is supposed to be 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and it is 60 Fahrenheit is brutally cold for an ocean temp. For air temp, it's fine. Throw on a sweatshirt. For ocean temp, you're not going to last more than 20 minutes on a big board that floats half your body. So I haven't bought a board yet, which is a bummer because one of the big reasons I came here was to surf. But I got to be honest, guys, I am having a hard time in Brazil. And I realized my first trip abroad was in 2017. And I did 3 months in Barcelona. I had no Spanish when I got there. The first thing I did, my second day in town, was sign up for Spanish classes. At this point, that was 7 years ago. And I forgot how brutally difficult it was to be in a country and not speak the language. So I'm back here in Brazil with almost no Portuguese, and I can't say any of that stuff. I'm slowly learning a few things. I can say hello. It's been very frustrating. This is the first trip I've had living abroad where I had regret when I got here, and I wanted to bail, and I wanted to run away and go somewhere else, go back to a country where they speak English or Spanish and I can get by. I just forgot how hard it is to start from zero learning a language. I have a newfound or renewed sympathy for anyone who's an immigrant who goes to a country where they, for some reason or other, and they don't speak the language. I also kept wondering, why didn't you start taking classes 3 months ago? 3 months ago, I was still finalizing my Spanish. I didn't 100% have a handle on Spanish. And I basically got to the point where I was like, wow, my Spanish is really good. I'm ready to learn Portuguese. So at that point, it was come here and learn Portuguese or go somewhere else, maybe, I don't know, Peru or something, and try to find Portuguese classes. There's a saying, if you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. I would even take it a step further and say, if you don't remember history, you're doomed to repeat it. And I just forgot how hard it was in 2017 to go to a Spanish-speaking country with no Spanish. I had a hard time in Barcelona. I was very lonely. I remember around day 10, I said, I don't care how bad my Spanish is. I'm going to start talking to strangers on the street. I don't need their life story. I just need, hello, how are you? Did you see that sign? You know, just stupid little comments, just for my own sanity. And I drew a line in the sand and I started doing it. The difference was that then, at that point, I had 10 or 11 days of Spanish class under my belt, so I could do that. Right now, I have 0. I can't start the Portuguese class for 5 more days. So in 1 week and 5 days, I'm going to start talking to everyone. I've already started a little bit just because I'm like, I have to. But there was a situation last night where there was real bad traffic. The bus wasn't moving, so I didn't take the bus. I walked up and over a hill, and I saw why there was traffic. There's a big truck stranded on the hill. And I saw people at the bus stop on the other side of the hill, and they were looking at me with that look of, do you know what's going on? And I wanted to tell them so badly, but I didn't have it. I didn't have the vocabulary in Portuguese to say what I wanted to say. So I just kept walking. That kills me. Just little human interactions like that. I need that. Like, I'm not an outrageously social person. I don't need to be around people all the time. I spend lots of time alone and in my Airbnb, and I work remotely alone. But every afternoon I go out to an office or a coffee shop and I work from there. And it's because I want to be around people, because I can't be in the house all day long. I do it all morning, but in the afternoon I have to get out. And I realize that I have to have these little conversations, even these brief little 10-second conversations with strangers. Like, we're social people. Even the most introverted people, I think, need a little bit of that. And I need a lot more of that than most people. So it's been very challenging being in Brazil, not speaking any Portuguese. I would say if you're going to do something like this, I mean, I guess it depends how badly you want it. I think it's going to be very worthwhile to learn Portuguese because English and Spanish are the two most important languages for me for traveling. It opens up all of Europe and almost all of South America, with one notable exception: almost half the continent in the country of Brazil. If I had to do it all over again, I still would. I wanted to see what Florianópolis was like. So I would say the answer is yes. You certainly can move to a country alone where you don't speak the language, but it's going to be hard and you're going to be isolated for a while. Your best option is to get into language classes in that country as soon as possible. Another option is to travel with someone who speaks your language. But if you do that, you're running a huge risk of sitting around and only talking to that person in your native language and not really learning. So I think in hindsight, in a perfect world, what I would have done is, from a Spanish-speaking country or an English-speaking country where I could hang out and have a social life and communicate with people, I would have started taking Portuguese classes there and tried to get 3 months of classes under my belt and then came here. That would have been a much better way to do this. And I will never do this again. If I want to go to Italy and learn Italian, I'm going to start taking Italian 3 months in advance of my departure date. Positive side is I'm here now and I've started the process. Even though I have not started classes yet, I'm informally learning, and in 5 days I will be formally learning. So if you just really want to get to it, you certainly can, but it's going to be hard mode. It's going to be the hard way to do it.